Good day, everyone. Today we will be discussing Lesson 16, Developing Objective Test. Here we will learn about the different types of objective tests and how to make them. So please listen carefully as we discuss, as this may become useful to you someday, especially when you pursue teaching. Here we have the objectives. These are the outcomes that we are hoping to see from you at the end of this lesson. So at the end of this lesson, you are expected to determine the nature and characteristics of objective tests, explain the rules in constructing objective tests, and construct varied types of objective tests. Outline. Under this section are the topics that we will be discussing today. It actually shows the flow of our discussion. So first is the introduction. Next is think, or the part where we will be tackling each type of objective test, which is the true or false, multiple choice test, fill in the blank, and matching type. Here we will know what they are and how to make them. So please listen carefully as we start our discussion, and hopefully you'll stay with us until the end of this lesson.
Introduction. One common practice among elementary language teachers in assessing literacy skills is the use of the objective type of test in measuring learners' reading and text comprehension levels. An objective test is one that requires only one correct answer, and all other answers are categorized as wrong based on objective criteria. As examiners answer the question, they select from the set of possible alternative answers the best or correct answer using their objective judgment. The popularity of objective tests as a mode of measuring reading and text comprehension skills is attributed to its ease in preparation, administration, scoring, and marking, and also obtaining a fast, quantifiable, and concrete result. Think. The dominance of objective test is observed among reading and text comprehension tests of teachers. Some types measure only one learning competency at one time, while others simultaneously assess different skills in the use of reading passage. Commonly constructed are: first, true or false; number 2, multiple choice test; number 3, fill in the blank; and number 4 is the matching type. And now let us go to the number 1, which is the true or false, or the yes or no. This test measures the ability of the reader to determine the truth or falsity of the statement presented. The basis of answering is the correct interpretation of the facts represented in a given passage. The reader is instructed to read the statement, determine its correctness or incorrectness, and choose the answer. So, a true or false question, it is consists of a statement that requires a true or false response. Additionally, it referred as an alternative response question. In constructing true or false items when using content-based learning selection, the following suggested need to be considered. Letter A. Sentences must be simple and declarative, using direct language. So, it is well-known information or it is easy to understand. Letter B. Statements are absolutely true or false. No qualification needed. Letter C. Paraphrase the statement and no need to lift direction statement from the selection. So, avoid long sentences as these tend to be true. Keep sentences short. Example: tests need to be valid and reliable and useful, although it would require a great amount of time and effort to ensure that test possess these test characteristics. So notice that the statement is true. However, we are also not sure which part of the sentence is deemed true by the student. Or it is just fortunate that in this case, all parts of the sentence are true. Letter D. Include enough background, context, and qualification when necessary. Example, according to the author. And another example, the principal of our school is Mr. Albert P. Panadero. Letter E, avoid using statements of commands or orders as these are neither true nor false. Example, brush your teeth 3 times a day. Eat your meal every day. Take a shower always. And letter F, never use qualifiers like always, sometimes, and never. Avoid using the words always, never, often, and other adverbs that tend to be either always true or always false. So we have here the sample test items. Direction. Read the paragraph below and answer the questions that follow. Mark Jaden noticed that his wallet is not in his pocket. He tried to reach for it in his school bag under his chair and around the classroom. He wondered where he could have lost it. He decided to make a bulletin announcement so that the other children could help him locate the wallet. So, if you are going to help him find the wallet, which of the following information should be included in the announcement? Write yes before each number if it could help. No if it is not helpful. So we have here number 1, it is dark brown. Number 2, it was a birthday gift. Number 3, it is made of leather. Number 4, it is imported. Number 5, it has his ID inside. And now we are done with the true or false or yes or no. So let's proceed to the multiple choice test. A multiple choice test items ask learner to recognize from a set of choices that best or correct answer to a question. And also this type of test is difficult to construct, but it is easier to score. It is more reliable and it reduces test anxiety among learners. Also, it includes 3 parts: the STEM, the KID option, and the incorrect options or alternative. So we have here the meaning of STEM. It represents the problem or question usually expressed in completion form or question form. For the KID option, it is the correct answer. Incorrect option are also called distractors or foils. These are the plausible answers that draw away the learner's attention from the correct answer. And now, try to look at the upper part of the slide. Whose nose grew longer every time he lied? Letter A, Spider-Man. Letter B, Mario. Letter C, Shrek. And letter D, Pinocchio. So, for the STEM, it is whose nose grew longer every time he lied. And the KID option or the correct answer is letter, very good, letter D, Pinocchio. So, letter A, letter B, and letter C, these are the incorrect option or the distractor. To be effective, the multiple choice test item construction should be considered the following suggestions. Letter A, be specific with what is asked in the STEM to make the learners anticipate the correct answer after reading it. More information should be placed in the STEM rather than in the given choices. So, example, from the details provided by the author, what is the setting of the story? So, this is the STEM. And letter A, beach. Letter B, farm. Letter C, mountain. So, these are the choices. And the distractors might be letter A and letter C. And the KID answer is the letter B. So, letter B, avoid giving grammatical clause like a answer is expected to begin with a consonant or an expected answer begins with a vowel. So, this one is incorrect. The animal tortoise described in the story is a good example of an letter A, reptile, letter B, amphibian, letter C, mammal. And this one is the correct. The animal tortoise described in the story is a good example of an or of A. Letter C. Make the choices similar in length, tense, number, sentence, structure, part of speech, etc. to avoid giving irrelevant clause to the correct answer. And also this one is incorrect. What did the boy expect from everyone he met? Letter A, trust. Letter B, treat him with mercy. Letter C, obedience. And this one is correct. What did the boy expect from everyone he met? Letter B, mercy. Letter C, obedience. Or letter A, trust. And for the letter D, in constructing the stem, use more often a direct question and less of the incomplete sentence type of stem. Example, this is the less preferred. The floating house implies that, and this one is the preferred. What does the floating house imply? And for the letter E, words or phrases that are repeated in the options are better integrated into the stem to reduce the reading load of the learners. This one is incorrect. What do the floating house imply? Letter A, Muslims are sea lovers. Letter B, Muslims are pearl divers. Letter C, Muslims are boat dwellers. Letter D, Muslims are good fishers. And this one is correct. What do floating houses imply? Muslims are letter A, sea lovers. Letter B, pearl divers. Letter C, boat dwellers. Letter D, good fishers. And for the letter F, arrange responses in a logical order. First, number, highest to lowest or vice versa. Second, date, earliest to the most recent or vice versa. And last, proper nouns, alphabetical order, or it should be in a alphabetical order. And last, letter G, give clear directions to guide the learners on what to do with the question and how to answer. Example direction. Read the items carefully to determine from the given choices the correct or best answer to complete the statement or answer a question. Circle the letter of your choice. So again, this type of test is difficult to construct, but it is easier to score. It is more reliable and it reduces test anxiety among learners.
Now, let us proceed to fill in the blank. So this type of test asks the learners to supply in the blank the correct answer based on the context suggested by the statement. So fill in the blank test items contain statements which you must complete by inserting information in the form of words, phrases, symbols, or numbers into blank spaces. It is actually suitable for assessing learners' knowledge of quick factual information. So, fill in the blank has high reliability. It is easier to construct and limits guessing. So, unlike other types of tests, fill in the blank actually minimizes guessing or the act of randomly choosing, which is normally done by students who are not equipped with enough knowledge when taking a test, especially during a multiple choice test. Test situations appropriate for a fill-in-the-blank type include giving the meaning of words, antonym or synonym, and giving the details asked about the story. So one example of this is the vocabulary test. Vocabulary test asks learners what the word or phrase means as it is used in a sentence. So this test prompts the candidates to use their vocabulary to complete sentences that have missing words in them. The words that go in the blanks could be anything. They could be models, articles, words, phrases, idioms, etc. So here we have some examples of a vocabulary test. Another test situation appropriate for a fill-in-the-blank type is supplying the details of the story. Supplying the details of the story asks learners about the title of the author, of the story rather, And the author, of course, setting, main characters, and other major details of the story read. So this one is exclusive to supplying details of a story. Possible test items might be similar to the following examples. Here we have 3 examples for that. And that's it. So let's proceed to the following suggestions that are given to make this type of test more effective. Letter A, put the blank at the end of the statement to orient the learner in the context. For example, the sentence, "This assignment is a piece of cake," means blank. As we can see, the blank is at the end of the sentence, which is preferable because it enhances readability and can reduce confusion. Letter B, make the situation specific for learners to provide the correct answer. So if you're a teacher and you made a fill-in-the-blank test to assess your students' learning progress, and you wanted to get a correct or definite answer from them, you must consider making your test statements specific and do not have double meaning. Letter C, in a set of fill-in-the-blank items, make the blank of the same length to avoid giving a clue to the correct answer. Blanks provided should be equal in length because there is a possibility that when you put a longer blank in number 1 and a shorter one on number 3 and 4, the learner may think that the answer in number 1 is longer than the others. So it is better to avoid that. Another type of objective test, and the last one on this list, is the matching type. This type of test measures the learner's ability to recognize relationships among homogeneous pairs. So, a matching type test aims to challenge the learner's ability to identify the relationship between a set of similar items, each of which has 2 components such as words and their definitions, symbols and their meanings, dates and events, causes and effects, people and their accomplishments, and problems and solutions. Matching type enables the reading teacher to cover more content in one test. Matching type has 2 columns. The column A presents the descriptions called premises, while column B contains the choices for answers called responses. In constructing matching type test items, the following are wise to consider. Letter A, include in the directions the basis of the learners to match the items and how to match. If one response is used more than once, the learners must also know. So you must give clear instructions. Are they required to either write the letter, other answer, or just to draw lines? The learners must be aware of that. Also, they must be aware whether the response can be used more than once or not, to avoid probable errors in the student's answers. However, it is necessary to make sure that no items in the column B can be matched to more than one item in column A. But having an item in the column A serves as the key for more than one item in the column B is okay. Letter B, items in column A are numbered consecutively, while items in column B are lettered alphabetically. Letter C, give more responses, about 3 more in column B than the premises or the column A. If there are 10 items as premises, the responses could be letters A to M. So you should allow more options than descriptions. You can add statements in the premises columns that will serve as in the response column that will serve as a distractor to help prevent students using a process of elimination to answer questions. But also, you can make the other options be used more than once. Just do not forget to indicate that in the directions. Letter D, longer statements are placed on the premises to reduce reading time, and shorter ones are in the responses. Letter A, items to be matched should be homogeneous. For example, characters and reading selection where they are found. authors and titles of reading selection, figurative expression, and word meaning or classification. So as you can see here, we have a sample test item of a matching type test. There is a direction instructing the test takers what they have to do, and the two columns, column A and B, are also present. In conclusion, objective tests play an important role in assessing student learning. It checks whether they have learned something or none at all. So it is a must that teachers know how to construct this type of test. So that would be all for today. We hope that you've learned something from today's discussion.